My dad bought the car in 1968. He chose this model for a couple of reasons. He did consider the S-Type, which was a larger model of the Jaguar, but that wouldn't fit in the garage. So he decided upon the Mark II. My parents were self-employed, they had a fish and chip shop. It was hard work, and the car was a reflection of the reward for their efforts. When I look on the receipt to see how much the car cost, it was the equivalent of a small terraced house then. I think it meant an enormous amount to my dad to acquire the car. It was non-essential. It was a luxury item. You know, money really wasn't that easy to come by. Dad said whenever he got in it and drove it, it felt as though he was wearing his best suit. Coming to the chip shop, you get to know a lot of people, so he would always know somebody to do any work that was required. So Dad wasn't mechanically minded. He liked driving, but no, he wouldn't do any work on it himself. Obviously there was always that aspiration of wanting to drive the car. I think my dad had deliberated over whether to sell it or not. I'm so glad that he didn't. He wouldn't have got a great deal of money for it. My parents moved house when they retired from their business. They moved house, they moved the car with them. And I remember the day when I gave the car its last clean, polished it up all nicely, pushed it into the garage, put the cover over it, and there it stayed for many, many years. I knew that car was always there, and the thought was always there of driving it again. I went back up to my parents and I thought, let's have a look. Let's go to the garage and have a look at the car. So I lifted the doors up and was really shocked and disappointed with what I saw. The car had deteriorated to a really depressing state. If it wasn't for the sentimental attachment and the emotional value of the vehicle, it would have gone to the scrapyard. It was too far gone. There are a couple of factors to consider. Obviously one is cost, and the other is time. Can I afford to do that? It's a bit like thinking, can I afford to have a child? If you think about it, it's financially, probably you can't. I knew that time wasn't on our side. My dad was, he was fit and healthy, but I knew that we hadn't got forever.
We got it!
And it took around about 4 years to get it to the stage where it was completely roadworthy, but even then it wasn't 100% done. It was mechanically sound, the exterior was beautiful, but the interior still was the black interior, and I wanted the red leather. There are some things that I wanted to keep the same. So the steering wheel, that's the steering wheel that my dad held. Didn't want to change that. The gear stick, it's got a bit of a crack in the top of it. Doesn't look perfect, but that's the gear stick that my dad held. So those bits will never change because I can sort of connect with him when I'm driving the car with those original bits on. When everything was done, to sit in that car and drive it was absolutely incredible. It felt so rewarding, not just because of the journey of the project itself, but the fact that we now had the opportunity to take the car to my dad and take him out for the day in it.